Hey Gabby, so I'm just going to read you my speech real quick, and one thing before we start is that I haven't made any cuts to it yet. It's going to be kind of long, but other than that, feel free to critique on anything. Alright, so time is running out in the NFL Lockout. Decisions need to be made fast, or else you might have to endure a year without NFL football, something that accounts for so much of who we are, our culture, and the American way of life. This is why the current problem at hand is much more important than we all think, and something has to be done to ensure changes are made. It's time for us to make a difference in something that affects so much of our culture. We need to prevent the NFL lockout from happening again, and I know exactly how we can do it. I want my audience to believe that the best way to prevent future problems related to the NFL lockout is to introduce a strict salary cap on all NFL rookies. So today, I would like to explain 3 very important steps to helping you all understand the best way to prevent another NFL lockout in the future. First, I would like to tell you how important it is to stop the current NFL lockout and prevent future ones. Then, I'd like to introduce to you my proposed policy, and then finally, I will explain to you how this will be the easiest and most effective way of preventing future NFL collective bargaining conflicts. Let me start off by explaining the issue at hand. It's vitally important we prevent another NFL lockout because of the detrimental effects it has on the United States economy and culture. According to a 2011 Washington Post article written by Jason Maloney, each community that hosts an NFL team hires an average of 3,700 workers for a standard season, as well accounts for $160 million in economic activity. That's a massive $5 billion lost and 115,000 jobs lost by the NFL through all 31 NFL communities. And that doesn't count the thousands of other small businesses and jobs which also rely on the NFL for a large percentage of income. According to a 2011 WTVQ.com article by Ryan Dearborn, the small city of Georgetown, Kentucky, the host for the Cincinnati Bengals summer training camp, racked in a whopping total of $3 million of economic activity during the 6-week period of training camp in 2006 from the NFL and visiting out-of-town fans. Georgetown is only one of the many places where small businesses rely on the NFL. From sports bars, restaurants, hotels, and merchandise stores, the list goes on, and the countless number of dollars and people are going to be affected. Football fans or not, the NFL's problem isn't only their concern anymore, it's ours. As I told you all before, the NFL and its effects are responsible for billions of US dollars and plays an integral role in our economy and culture. As Americans, we need to take the initiative and make sure something is done for the current situation and for avoiding other similar problems in our future. To do this, we have to understand in better detail how the current NFL lockout arose and the system behind it. The NFL lockout arose through a dispute in its collective bargaining agreement, or CBA. According to the businessdictionary.com, a collective bargaining agreement is defined as a written, legally enforceable contract for a specified period between the management of an organization and its employees represented by an independent trade union. It sets down and defines conditions for employment and procedures for dispute resolution. Now that you know what a collective bargaining agreement is, you can now understand the dispute behind the NFL lockout. The NFL team owners have called for a $1.7 billion increase in credit from the total league's revenue in this year's CBA due to the recent economic problems in the United States. Because of the large decrease in their salaries that will follow this new proposal, the players have disagreed to the sudden and drastic demand. This is why the policy I'm going to suggest to you now is definitely the best way to handle the situation. My plan is very simple yet very effective and targets all first-year NFL players. The problem I'm going to address has been known among players, experts, and owners for years, and is definitely a large and overshadowed component in the NFL lockout. My policy involves implementing a salary cap on all rookie players. All rookies will be subjected to a 2-year contract of no more than $5 million and will be allowed to renegotiate a new contract under normal conditions after that 2-year time period. Now, I understand that some people who do not follow professional sports might not understand what a salary cap is, so let me take a short moment to explain that. According to dictionary.com, a salary cap is defined as a maximum amount of money that can be spent on an individual sports player or team. Basically, it restricts owners from overspending on player salaries. My policy would alleviate the current rookie salary situation tremendously. It's clear to a lot of people that something definitely needs to be done about it. There are 2 main problems surrounding rookie salaries, and my proposed policy would eliminate both of them. The first problem is that the top rookies coming out of college frequently make more money than some of the most accomplished veterans in the NFL. In many instances, these rookies do not live up to their expectations and become massive wastes of salary money. According to a 2008 CBSSports.com article written by Dan Popple, Bill Polian, president of the NFL team Indianapolis Colts, has been calling for a similar stand against the current rookie salary and NFL draft systems for quite a while. In an interview, he stated that the idea that the worst team would get help from a good player or players is out of the window because you are saddled in salary cap hell if the guy is anything but an almost immediate Pro Bowler, and it must change. What Mr. Polian is trying to say is that the NFL teams give themselves huge salary problems by overpaying their supposed superstar rookies because these players were standouts in college, It does not mean that they're going to be at the next level, and this is most often the case. The second problem surrounding rookie salaries that my policy would address is that by having a strict salary cap on rookies, you are giving more money back to the veterans and already proven players in the league. According to the same 2008 CBSSports.com article, a quote by an NFL owner states, "We're sick and tired of giving exorbitant, incredible sums of money to players who haven't proven they can do anything but play against Eastern Michigan." Also, according to a 2010 BleacherReport.com article written by Noel Ramos, last year's top-rated rookie quarterback, Tam Bradford, was given a contract worth an astonishing $86 million maximum with $80 million guaranteed. When compared to the top cornerback in the league, Nnamdi Asomugha, Bradford is making just as much in 1 year as Asomugha is over his entire contract. The fact that players who have never played a professional sports football game are making that much more money than some of the best players in the league is completely ridiculous. Money absolutely needs to be taken away from these overpaid rookies and given to players that have proven themselves and deserve it. Implanting my proposed policy will be easy, effective, and agreeable among the NFL. Now, some of you might be thinking to yourself, how does this rookie salaries problem relate to the NFL lockout and the CBA? Although it might not be clear to you now, I will tell you how it plays such a large role in the current NFL disputes. Because the NFL owners want to take more credit off of the total league revenue, it's leaving them with less money to pay their players. By taking all that money away from the unproven and reliable rookies in the league, however, there will be much more money available to counter this credit. This way, players won't have nearly as reduced salaries as they have in the situation they are now, thus preventing another NFL lockout. In addition, many professional sports leagues have already created their own policies in regards to rookie salary caps and restrictions. The NHL, the most conflict-free major professional sports league in the country, has a similar policy. According to the NHL's official website, NHL.com, it states that the rookie players will be subject to a maximum annual salary of $925,000 over a 3-year period. Like my policy, this regulation allows for more money to be taken away from entry-level players and given to veteran and proven players. By doing this, it creates more space for owners to take money needed for other reasons. My policy is clearly workable and has proven that it works in other professional settings. Now that you know all of the problems surrounding the NFL lockout, you can now understand why my policy is the most effective way to fix it and prevent it from happening in the future. By implementing a policy that restricts rookie players to much lower salaries over a 2-year period, it doesn't waste valuable salary money, and it leaves more money to distribute among the much more proven veteran players. By leaving a much larger sum of money available for these players, it gives owners more space when taking money for other causes. It's clear that the best way to deal with the NFL lockout-related problems is to deal with the rookie salary situation and introduce a fair, workable, and productive policy that fixes that problem. It's time for us to act and realize what's at stake, because it's not just about Monday Night Football, authentic replica jerseys, or Super Bowl Sunday anymore. It's about a whole country, our country.